time to take a look at these stories making headlines today and weigh the good with the bad. It's time for pros and cons. Here we go. Tonight we'll be taking a look at the pros and cons of a Joe Biden presidency. He hasn't announced anything yet, but there's speculation he might run for president in 2016.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon. Welcome to Gimme 5, ladies and gentlemen. I thought it would be appropriate. This was called a must-see, can't-miss video when I was cruising around the internet looking for my Gimme 5 topics. So I said, what the heck? Let's go for it.
So let's take a look at the pros and cons of a Joe Biden presidency. Here we go. Pro, he'll no longer be number 2. Con, he'll still giggle when you say number 2.
Yeah. What I love about him.
Pro, he believes in a bright future for the Middle East. Con, mostly because he thinks Middle East is one of Kim and Kanye's kids. That's not it. Northwest, Middle East. Yeah, no, I can see it.
Southwest.
Southwest. All right, again, let me just point out to you folks, I don't think this is particularly funny. And there's a reason, there's a method to my madness, as there usually is, as to why I'm bringing this to you, which will become clear as we progress. Let's watch more.
Pro, for Secretary of State, he'll pick someone who's fluent in several languages and well-traveled. Con, Dora the Explorer. That's a strong choice.
Yeah, you can go a lot worse.
Yeah, you can do worse. Pro, he's looking forward to working closely with the FBI. Con, he still thinks it stands for Female Body Inspectors. That's grade school.
I think he'd learn by now. I mean, he's been in government a long time.
Pro, Biden has already spent hours in the Oval Office. Con, mostly spinning around in President Obama's chair. It's like, Joe, get out, Joe.
All right, you're getting the impression here, you're getting it that Joe is just a harmless, funny old guy who makes mistakes and can't help himself. Watch.
Pro, he's not afraid to ask the tough, hard-hitting questions. Con, like, why didn't Andy choose Nick on The Bachelorette? That's America wants to know.
Yeah.
Pro, watching him put his right hand on the Bible to recite the presidential oath. Con, watching him make L's with both hands to figure out which is right and which is left. Like, sometimes you got to do that.
You got to know.
And finally, Pro, his first order of business, strengthen the economy. Con, his second order of business, kill Voldemort. There you go. That's the pros and cons, everybody. We'll be right back.
All right, folks, I don't see Joe Biden as a harmless, funny guy, and if he were a Republican, he'd be out of politics. I'm not even talking about the plagiarism accusations. Remember when he was running for president in 07 against a guy named, Barack Obama?
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and a nice-looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
Yeah, Barack. Did you know Barack Obama was clean? Yeah, first African-American president to run for president who was clean and articulate, mind you. Wow. But it didn't stop there. Remember the Dunkin' Donuts 7-Eleven remark?
In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking. Oh, gigantic.
I'm not joking. Can't go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts if you don't have a slight Indian accent. Remember, Macaca got Senator George Allen kicked out of politics. Now, perhaps the most damning, I want to put up on the screen. Washington Post editorial board, October 25th of 07. This is what Biden said when asked, why is the education system so much better in Iowa, for instance, than it is in Washington, D.C.? And listen to this for racism. There's less than 1% of the population of Iowa that's African American. There is probably less than 4 or 5% that are minorities. What is Washington? Well, we know Washington is overwhelmingly African-American, right? So, he says, look, it goes back to what you start off with, what you're dealing with. In other words, the education system in Iowa is better because there's more whites. And it's worse in D.C. because look at all the blacks. You put that together with the Dunkin' Donuts, with the first clean, articulate African-American to run for president, any Republican would have been out for good for any one of them. But yet on Jimmy Fallon, on the Steve Malzberg Show.